Okay. Hi, guys. Welcome to the Globe Network. I'm your host, LaCrystal Parker. And I'm really excited today because we have a special guest, very, very talented, a young woman. She's 17 years old. She's an actress, a model, a philanthropist, an author, and a scholar. Wow. Started her modeling career at actually started her modeling and acting career at the age of 7 and 8. And so she's modeled all around Atlanta. I have seen Heaven, I know in about like what is it, 10, 15 magazines. You've been in mine, but I
Yes.
know how many magazines have you been in, Heaven?
Throughout like the whole career,
Yes.
I was probably would be like probably over, probably over 150.
Are you serious?
Yes,
Oh
it's
my
been a lot.
God. Oh my God. That is so fabulous. I didn't know it was that many.
Yes.
Gosh, that is so great. She also is a well-known actress in the Atlanta area and she's spreading her wings. Is it next weekend and going to Paris Fashion Week, right?
This weekend coming up.
This weekend coming up. So are
Yes.
you excited? Like, tell me about
Yes.
that. Like, what is the whole experience with the Paris Fashion Week? How did you get into Paris Fashion
Lo-
Week?
Well, London Fashion
Oh
Week.
yeah, London. I'm sorry,
Yes.
London Fashion Week. How did you?
I've been to London before,
Mm-hmm.
and it was nice. I had a photo shoot there. It was very nice. It was like very collected and structured.
Mm-hmm.
And going there to model is gonna be even better because then I get to show London what Atlanta and what heaven is about as a professional model out in these streets, and just keep on pushing.
Okay.
I love
Well,
new experiences.
okay. Well, let us keep us informed about that. Okay. So when you go, because we definitely want to blog about it and
Yes.
just keep us informed with your whole
Hmm.
experience in London. Now you have been in the industry since you were 7 years old.
Yeah.
How did you get into acting? How did you get into the whole acting and modeling industry?
Okay, so I started off modeling when I was 7. Then it came acting when I was 8. But with modeling, well, before I was modeling and stuff, I wanted to be a ballerina at first. But then, when you see on the TV, there's models,
Mm-hmm.
commercial models representing like the clothing, the perfume,
Mm-hmm.
the wear. So I was like, Mom, I wanted to be a model and I want to be on the runway. I want to show off people's clothes and their brands. And she said, okay. And she looked up model companies and coaches. And then I got into modeling. First, I got into this model company. Then
Mm-hmm.
I went to a model school, graduated from that school. I believe it's John Casablancas, but I graduated from that school. Then I went to my modeling coach, Mr. Orlando, and ever since then, he's taught me the way. And now I'm all big and grown, and I know how to do the catwalk, as people say. And on to acting. My mom wanted to see if I can try it out. I got into my first play, a theater play called As
Mm-hmm.
I Say Love, and the director of that play seen talent into me, so she referred me to a acting coach, and from that acting coach, I learned the steps and how to act, and just studied both modeling and acting till just, as you grow, as you
Mm-hmm.
study, and as you put your mind up to things, you are still going to get better. And I got better, and I'm still getting better and progressing as I grow. So,
So,
yeah.
when you go to the fashion week next week, are you going to be on the runway? What are you going to be doing?
Yes, I'm going to be on the runway, London Fashion Week. There's gonna be pictures. I will also be in Paris, but that's something later. You guys will see later on my page for those who follow me. And London is gonna be a whole new ball game because, like I said before in other interviews that I've did,
Mm-hmm.
I want to be like that international model who doesn't just model in Atlanta, but I've already did New York Fashion Week a lot of plenty of times. So now it's gonna be London Fashion Week. Next, probably I want to do Paris Fashion Week. Um, what else is there? Switzerland, just
Milan.
different places. I want people to know that I can show off their brand wherever I go.
Now, let me ask you a question. How has your mom inspired your career? How has she helped your career? Because mom be in the background, like really, she's a big advocate for you. Like,
Yeah.
how has mom helped your career?
She just supported me. She supported me. She made sure I worked hard. Make sure I make she's making sure I get everything right. But there's a order in which she does things, and I
Mm-hmm.
understand that because school comes before anything that I do. So make
Mm-hmm.
sure I'm on that. I'm a principal list all A student,
Oh,
and with doing
good.
thank you, and with doing all that I can still manage and still get my work done at school and also be catwalk, movie, TV, film, and at night. So she supports me, she helps me make sure that I'm on it, even though, and she also does give me breaks because most people think I'm just going, 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 going.
Mm-hmm.
I understand. She understands sometimes we need a break, and that
Right.
break always comes, and it's wonderful.
So
So,
it's you think that it's important to take breaks and take breathers
yes,
and just be
time
uh
management will be a big thing when your child is young and they're doing a lot of things while in school. Because some people take their children out of school and put them in homeschool just for them to do what they also do outside of school, which is
mm-hmm.
also good as well. But I'm in school and I can still manage. So it really depends on what you do, but that's how we do it here.
Now, what is the importance of having confidence in like going after your dreams? Because you seem very confident, and I
Yeah.
like that. But what is
Thank
the
you.
importance of having a high self esteem and a confidence, when you're getting ready to go after your dreams as a young woman?
When you're doing something that you want to do, when you're doing something that you love,
Mm-hmm.
and that you're even skilled at, confidence is always going to be key. And you want to know why? Because when you're confident, you do stuff 10 times as better as when you're probably nervous or shy. But what you want to do is take all that nervousness and butterflies that's in your stomach and just
Mm-hmm.
let it out. Because guess what? You letting that in is just like a lion with a lion that isn't roaring.
Right.
But right when you let it out, everybody will hear you. You're roaring, the whole world will hear you, and it's gonna be motivation. You don't know who's out there. You might
Exactly.
motivate. You might motivate somebody older than you, younger than you, same age as you. Is you have to let people know that you're doing this for you and for whoever. Cause most of the time I be doing stuff because my mom, she's one of my motivators. She's my
Right.
top motivator. So it's gonna be for me, my mom, God, and all everybody out there because I know I motivate a lot of people and I'm so grateful to have these talents that I can motivate and inspire other people out there because they might not have a person out there to motivate them.
Mm-hmm.
So sometimes you got to take all of what you have and not just be self-interested, but have a community of self-interest.
Mm-hmm. How do you feel that you want to change the industries that you're in, like the acting industry and the modeling fashion industry? Do you have any goals to change those industries or make an impact in those industries?
Well, I want to make an impact in everything that I do because
Mm-hmm.
I know I'm young and I know that I'm growing as well. So when I was little, I was still making an impact because oh my goodness, this little girl, she started out 7, 8. She's doing things that even some adults cannot do.
Right.
But she's also inspiring them. But now that I'm like 17, I'm getting up to that age where now I can even I can be took in even more to where people will treat me like how they treat others on the internet because it's a difference between people in real life versus online. So it's not gonna be all like, oh my god, I remember when you were little. It's gonna be like, oh my god, you've grown so much. So now I can really make an impact now that I'm 17, and I can just keep on going. My mom doesn't really have to help me as much as when I was little. I could do
Mm-hmm.
stuff myself as well with her help and find things and help and just still be there. So really I want to impact people through the way I really grew up to being who I am right now and still progressing because there can be different methods like most famous people
Mm-hmm.
um they grew up in not so good areas and now they're
Mm.
living up to the expectations that they want people to know they don't want that doesn't stop them.
Mm-hmm.
So nothing can stop you as long as you put your mind and you go for it.
And that's the message you like to deliver to your peers.
Yes.
Now, do you feel that there's a lot of peer pressure, like what you being like and a teenager now? What type of peer pressure have you experienced, and how did you get through it?
Peer pressure as in can you give me an example?
Like, say for instance, if you see a lot of young women online that dress maybe more provocative than they
Uh-huh.
supposed to as teenagers, but there's a lot of peer pressure because of different like MTV or different stations that push to be provocative. Do you ever feel that you've had that peer pressure, and how do you overcome it?
No, not really. But me myself, I've always tried to dress my age because
Mm-hmm.
me in real life I'm actually small. I'm 5 feet, so people will still try to treat me like I'm still a little girl. But I want them to understand that I'm growing up. Big heaven is coming around, and I I can be treated the same way that you are going to be treated, and you have to understand there's a difference between when I was little and how I
Right.
am right now, and I understand. Yes, little heaven, now she's growing up, but when I dress not to impress, but I dress for myself, my mom, because there's everybody's watching. And some people have to understand that as I grow up,
Mm-hmm.
things were things are gonna change. And some people may not like that, but you have to understand still growing up and still maturing because at my age,
Mm-hmm.
with me doing everything that I do, I'm a model, actress, author, entrepreneur. I'm
Mm-hmm.
definitely gonna be mature. So people aren't really gonna also think of me that way. But even at school, the teachers know I'm well bounded, very respectful, and I know how to get to the places I want to get. I know I gotta study something that I don't know, and I still gotta increase the grades. Yeah, I may have all A's, but I still want to increase that GPA that I have. Same with modeling and acting. You want that role, you study it. You want that modeling gig, you walk your best walk and show them that even though you may have this type of, you may not, because you know most models are tall.
Right.
I'm pretty short.
Mm-hmm.
Even though I'm short, I can still do the same thing as that tall girl,
Right.
Bella Hadid, Tyra Banks. I can still do that. So I can I can show my show regardless of who says this is supposed to be like this and that is supposed to be like that. So yeah,
So you have to believe in yourself, like you said earlier, and you have to have the
yeah.
confidence, and you have that. Now,
Hmm.
who is your favorite fashion designer? Who's your favorite fashion designer?
My favorite fashion designer, um, it would have to be, hmm, it would have to be, Misfit, Misfit, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
It's the one who came out with the red boots that just came out, but they have other clothing designs, and I like their style. It's different. It's easy to dress up and wear. I'm like that type of person. Like my aesthetic is different,
Mm-hmm.
outgoing, and a statement. So
Miss
that's
Misfit, did they just bring out like the red
yes.
it was some
The
red boots that they've been that's
mhm,
been all over the internet? Okay.
yes.
So that's your favorite that would be your favorite designer.
Hmm.
So like what is it like being in high school? Like what's the difference between high school and grade school? Cuz I know, is that a big change for you?
High school, not well. It is a big change, but not really because in grade school I was still doing the same thing.
Mhm.
But in high school, no, grade school, I was an honor roll school student making A's and B's. When I got to
Huh?
high school, that's when I started increasing my grades and making all A's and trying to stay on that throughout. And I'm in 11th grade right now, and from 9th to 11th, I've been still on all A's and been in all these clubs and just doing my thing.
So you're very out like an outgoing person. Now
Hmm.
now in regards to your acting, how did you get into acting? When did you knew that you wanted to act?
Well, my mom is the one who wanted to try it out. Remember when I said earlier? Then I got into theater, and then from theater, that's when I had an acting coach. He taught me how to get roles, and then I got into agencies,
Mhm.
and then my biggest film that's been out yet, The Hate You Give, as character Natasha. Um, and ever since from there, I've still been getting some bookings,
Mhm.
and I'm grateful because a booking might be small, a
Mhm.
booking might be big. Regardless, it's still something you can put on your reel, and still act because it shows different. Because each scene isn't going to be the same.
Right. Is it
It's
like
going to
so
be
it's like it's
different.
building your resume and it's building you're getting able to practice your craft. Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Okay. So do you well, let me ask you. So what is it like being on set? Because you've been on set with like I've seen you on
Yes.
set with some really like influential people, like celebrities. What is that like being on set with these different celebrities?
Um, it's regular. They make you feel comfortable, just like how they would want to be feeling comfortable as well.
Mhm.
But some of them just get to going, which I understand because I get to going as well.
Mhm.
So I don't. I mean, they're they're comfortable. They're human as well. So I really understand them. I understand their point of view. They're not really just so different, even though they're famous.
Mhm.
Some of them act regular, but there can be. I haven't met anyone that's been like, you know, have a big head and not humble. But um, so far through my experiences, they've all been cool, and I really appreciate that.
You appreciate the experience.
Yes.
Now, you are a scholar. Tell me about because I saw in your bio that you are a scholar. What What type of scholar? Like, can you tell me about you being a scholar? What is that?
A
Your
scholar,
definition of a scholar?
like student
Yeah,
learning and stuff.
yes. It said you're a author and a scholar. So I want to know like your thought process of a scholar as a.
A scholar is someone who's doing very well in school,
Mm-hmm.
and just very educated, which I am.
Your philanthropy work. You have an organization.
Yes.
Tell me about your because I know you do a lot for kids at Christmas too, don't you?
I do year-round events, such as Christmas events and back-to-school events with my
Mm-hmm.
nonprofit, Heaven Help One Foundation Incorporated, and it's where we help any families that don't have the fundings.
Mm-hmm.
And not only do we just do in Atlanta, we do even international. We've been to Haiti
Oh,
before.
really? You've been to Haiti? What was that
Yes.
like?
It was very, very nice. Um, we was like with this team. It's like an organization, and they helped Haiti, and it was different. And we got to paint the houses
Mm-hmm.
in Haiti, talk to the Haitian people, which was really nice. And we also even got to go to the beach, which is really very beautiful.
Does
And
Haiti have nice beaches?
yes, they have crabs and other stuff as well. But it was like blue, turquoise, and green, like three shades in the water.
Wow.
But I love the part of us helping them
Mm-hmm.
because even though they kind of spoke a different language, we had a translator. But
Mm-hmm.
they accepted what they had, which I appreciated because most people will get help and they won't be appreciative of what they got.
Oh, I
So
see.
yes, but it was really nice.
Now, what do you think? Well, the importance of because you're a teenager, not too many
Hmm.
teenagers are interested in having a nonprofit or doing, work, community work to help, you know, underprivileged families. How
Hmm.
important do you think it is for the youth to do that, to like be out helping other families? Do you think that that's important to have a skill to have or asset as a
Yes,
teenager?
yes, I say that because um your community around you, you want it to be better.
Mm-hmm.
You want them to have the same things you have, just not even worse, but at least having a simple, nice home, with food, water, and nice clothes. Cause
Right.
sometimes it comes to the fact of I'm better than you, I'm this and that. You don't have the
Mm-hmm.
same shoes, which doesn't really matter as long as you have a nice hygiene clothes on your back, um, just house running lights.
Mm-hmm.
You want your community to have the same things that you have because we have other people coming from other countries, states coming
Mm-hmm.
here, and all they probably will see is homeless kids, homeless families on the street begging for change, water, anything. You don't want that because you know what I see what a difference is when I
Mm-hmm.
went to London the first time. They
Mm-hmm.
don't have they don't have any homeless people. You want to know why? Because they have shelters for them everywhere they go. There, I haven't seen. I only probably seen like one or two homeless people in the United Kingdom. And
Are you serious?
yes,
I did not know that.
I love that about them because they're structured and they care about their surroundings and what other people think about their surroundings. And I understand it's kind of a poverty thing because
Mm-hmm.
the United States, but I feel like even though we have all these foundations, we should get
Mm-hmm.
together and that'll make it work faster for all these homeless families, even singular people to get shelter, food, clothes that they need because you can't it's heaven help one help all for a reason. You can't help just by yourself. A team,
Mm-hmm.
a organization, empire will be a simple resolution to us cleaning up our community and just cleaning up people who need help and
So you're
want it.
saying that all of the different nonprofit organizations should come together as
Yes,
one, as a team, to help fight homelessness or help
yes.
fight poverty. Okay, that makes a lot of
Because
sense.
sometimes it's just a competition thing where you came here to help, not to try to be better. And that's
Right.
what I was saying earlier.
Mm-hmm.
Even with the teens and kids, everything is a competition nowadays when it shouldn't be.
Ah, do you feel like that's a part of peer pressure in school, like in the high school or in schools right now?
I
With
feel like peer pressure isn't just because of teens or
mm-hmm.
kids. I feel like it's adults too, because
Oh.
they also compare students' grades. Yes, I am a principal's list student. I'm on
Mm-hmm.
top of my class, but there could be another person who's very smart, knows a lot of information, but doesn't have
Mm-hmm.
the grades, or they probably grew up in a situation where they're kind of bad, as people say.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like even though they're known as that,
Mm-hmm.
they're still smart. So you have to take accountability and take all people who is smart, not just for grades, but smart in general.
Right. Because
Cause
I
smart
agree.
has different they have different meanings.
That is so true, and it's interesting that you see that in
Mm-hmm.
high school, that there are different levels, there are different types of smart, and
Yeah.
sometimes a person can be not does not have the book, they're not book smart,
Yeah.
but that doesn't mean that they're not smart. You see what I'm
Yeah.
saying? But that's just kind of how I think sometimes how society is set up, that we go by a testing scale and a grading scale, because there's everybody has, I think everybody has some part of genius, it just hasn't been tapped into. So I tell you, so for you to see that at your age, Heaven, that says a lot about you. Do
Mm-hmm.
you how do you encourage? Are you a leader, and are you a leader at school? Because you seem like you like a leader. I know you tell me about your birthday that you was on a party bus, but are you a leader? Do you do a lot of leader? Are you a leader at school?
Yes, I'm a leader, but really sometimes most days at school I just really be quiet. Just I'm just there to get to graduating. I'm ready.
You ready? So
Yes.
what's after graduating? What's after graduating high
I
school?
wanna go to SCAD, Savannah College of Art and Design, to
Okay.
take up a major of fashion design and or script writing. And you know that already works in favor because I'm a model and an actress.
Right. Those
So
those those are both for your talents.
yes, so I want to take up fashion design, because I've always seen fashion as I love this. I want to do this. I grew up modeling in fashion, and I liked how they did stuff. So, and even in high school right now, I did take a applied design class in the
Hmm.
10th grade. So that even adds on to future resumes and stuff that when I want to get a job in fashion, I could put on there. So my school works in favor of what I want to do. And I'm
Now,
also right now doing a TV and film class, so that works in favor of script writing. So
oh,
everything just
nice.
connects to
It's going
everything.
it, with your college. Everything is like going together.
Hmm.
Everything is like coming together. And so you want to do script right now. Do you want to produce films?
I don't want to produce films. I want to write for write for films, like be the script writer. But that is a part of the production team
Mm-hmm.
as being a script writer. So I want to make sure like the subplot, the exposition, resolution, everything's
Oh.
good for that movie. Well, so I want to be not the director, but the
Hmm.
person who writes the film and get it and get somebody to direct the film.
Directed. Now,
And
did you know that because I just had an interview with Angela Tucker, and she was like she's one of the first African American film directors.
oh, okay.
And so it was really interesting when she came on the show and she was talking to me in regards to how because they did a movie and the but
Mhm.
there was a because film is like fashion, believe it or not.
Yeah.
Film is like fashion, and it was the movie was about African American culture, so they did the
Mhm.
movie in New Orleans.
Yes.
But she had to write the film, but and she also had to produce the film as
Oh
well.
yeah, I've heard of people writing and
Hmm.
producing
And
their film.
and it was interesting because she pulled out of culture, like she had to go study culture. She
Mhm.
studied different African American things about cooking, about coming together. And when I thought about that, it felt so much like fashion because my background is fashion.
Mhm.
About how in fashion you have to study, like you have
Yes.
1920s fashion, 1930s fashion.
Yes.
So it's still kind of the same thing because you're still looking for inspiration.
Yes.
So I think what you're going with both majors, it won't be hard because it's still that same
Yeah.
template. You see what I'm saying? You still
Yeah.
have that same that template
Everything
of
connects to everything else, so it's
yes, it
yeah.
definitely connects. So you're wanting to and after college you want do you want to work for someone? I know you just said that you wanted to work for someone in the fashion industry, or do you
Um.
want to be an entrepreneur?
Um. I want to be. Well, when I start off, I want to work
Mhm.
for somebody. But
Okay.
the goal is to be an entrepreneur, a businesswoman that wants to get her fashion out there. She wants to hire
Right.
people, get stocks and sales, and make sure she's up to date with being different and also having the trends that everybody wants to put on.
So
Because,
do you want to be a fashion designer?
yes,
Oh, that's nice. Well, you probably could. Yeah, I'm sure you would do both. You could be an actress. You know, you have
yeah,
the actresses that have the clothing line. Who's the
yes.
actress right now that has a clothing line? Okay, let's see here. I'm trying to think of an actress that has a clothing line. I don't know any alphabet, but I know some have been out there. One Nene Leaks. Well, she was a radio personality, right? So she had her clothing
Mhm.
line, and then but she's a what is it called? It's not a internet. I can't think of the name of her. A reality
If,
star. She's a
oh,
reality
okay.
star. So she has a clothing line. I think Jennifer Lopez, because Jennifer Lopez
Mhm.
sings, but Jennifer Lopez has a clothing line in Kohl's. I don't know if she still has it or not. Now that's another question. Have you ever thought about doing a reality show, being in reality?
Um, I mean, if it comes up to it, I would do reality shows, but um, reality shows they're kind of different from everything else.
Okay.
Cause half the time it may be scripted, but the other half is actual reality, and you're actually getting the drama. Because really, you know why everybody comes to reality shows to look at it. You know why? You know why? The
Drama?
drama, the
Right.
fights, and all the extraness. But if it came down to it, yes, I would do a
You do a
reality.
reality.
Yeah,
Now there are a lot of reality shows in Atlanta. Like
yeah,
so what is it like growing up in Atlanta? What is Atlanta like? Do you see a lot of stores all the time in Atlanta?
yeah, yeah. We have a lot of restaurants, stores, fast food. Yeah. And a lot of uh gas stations.
A lot of gas stations. Have you been to Tyler Perry Studios? Do you feel like that's
Yes.
somebody you have? Now what was that like being at the Tyler Perry
It
studio?
was nice. I was working on the what is the film called? Ruthless. That one. Yeah. It was really nice, and I actually got to see like the other films that he filmed before. I got to see the like houses and
The
the boats and
studios.
stuff that he had up there, which was really cool.
My studio in LA is right down from the Fox Studios.
Mm,
It's like it's on Avenue of the Stars. So if you ever come to LA, you and your mom have to come and visit me. So Avenue
yeah.
of the Stars is like where all the talent agencies are. So
Mhm.
when you go down that strip, if you Google it when you get off, it's just like where everybody wants to come to is get to be picked up is Avenue of the Stars. So right on Avenue of the Stars is like Fox Studios. So when I was coming in, because I fly back from Dallas to LA, I passed by the studio. Now I have been at the studio. I've worked at the studios before
Mhm.
like been, but I'm so intimidated because of all the big buildings, and it's like you have to walk. Like it's just walk. It's a lot of walking. Okay, and so but you seem like you fitted right in at Tyler Perry Studios. Did you see some huge buildings and everything? What did you see at
Yeah,
the?
I seen the huge buildings, props and stuff. It was very cool. Very
Mhm.
cool. Nice experience. Um, got to see Tyler Perry. Um, but yeah, it was really nice and cool.
That is awesome. That is so awesome. Like Kevin, you've
Mhm.
done some stuff. A lot of people have not done. How does that feel though? How does that feel like having that type of um experienced so many things already? Like what does that feel like? Do you feel like sometimes when you talk to adults they're like who is this young woman? Like she's like they've done so
Um,
much. Does
they'd
it
be
does
surprised.
they
They'd be
they're
surprised. And especially at school, I don't really like to talk about my modeling and the acting and stuff. And then my mom tell them, and they be like, "Heaven, you haven't told me none of this." But I gotta start putting myself out there because it's good to know. Because you're teaching a scholar that's been in films, been on the runway, out the country. Oh, people will wanna know that. So I gotta start taking that out my shell because like when I go to school, I go there to learn and
okay.
get my grades up. So yeah. But
So so your
I
prom is coming up. Is your prom coming up in May? Are you a junior?
yes, my prom is in April.
Oh, your prom is in April. So
Yeah.
do you have a dress picked out yet? Are you
Yes, I have three. I have to choose one by
are
the
you
end of the day.
so you have three picked out already for
Mhm.
your prom. You're starting early,
Yeah.
Heaven.
Yes.
You are starting really early with your prom. So that's okay. So so do you feel like because you like you said, like with being a child actor and a child like in the entertainment industry, um that some were pulled out of school and they didn't get the experience of being in school. Do you think that being in school and being with your peers, do you think that make a difference or that help make you more rounded as an individual?
Um, I wouldn't say so much around it, but I would say
Hmm.
if I had a chance
Hmm.
from when I was little and when I first started that to know this will change most of like your life because
Hmm.
sometimes it does get to that point where I'm tired of doing all this. I just want to live
Gotcha.
my teenage life,
And be
whatever I be as
balanced.
a teen. But I'm not so I'm because I got used to it. It doesn't bother me anymore. But like when I first started, really in ninth grade, I used to kind of wish like somebody would have told me that this is gonna stick with you, and this is gonna stick for real. So you have to have make time for every single thing.
Right.
So
Cuz
yeah,
you're building like you're
hmm
building like when you're a child to now, like you're
yeah,
building skills and you like your confidence it just
hmm
oozes out, and you need that to
yeah,
go like you said to go after your dreams. So
hmm
even if you don't realize it or not, you're still building
yeah,
different skills and different characteristic things like traits that you really need to just in life, just in
Yeah.
life that you need. And having that big bubbly personality
Yeah.
and being able, being in magazines and being in
Mhm.
shows,
Yeah.
it really helps you when you become like a full. Because one day, like, we're gonna know heaven, but we're not gonna be like trying to like, oh, is she adult or is she? We're gonna know you're gonna be a full-fledged woman, okay?
Mhm.
So you don't worry about that because that's gonna come.
Yeah.
That's gonna
But
come.
like also it's also good because I can get to things faster because now I have skill. They see
Right.
I have been this for 8,
Hmm.
12, this many years. So
Right.
it gives me an advantage. So that's also one of the pros of just growing up and doing all of this stuff.
Right. Right. And now, do you ever mentor? I know you do have and help one, but do you ever
Mhm.
mentor other young women that are coming in the fashion and the modeling industry?
Well, I wouldn't say mentor, but I do give out inspirational motivation speaking to
Hmm.
not just women, but everybody in general. Because
Okay.
everybody needs a talk,
Everybody needs
and
encouragement.
even, but especially as being a a young woman in the industry, you want to see somebody that looks like you to do the
Yes.
things that you want to do
Right.
or are figuring out what you want to do.
Hmm.
So
That's important.
you
That is
see
so
this
important.
you see this 17-year-old girl going out there doing good on grades and still, and then her mom supporting her through everything that she does. That's gonna make people want to be inspired. And then especially back to the mom thing,
Hmm.
every mom isn't going to be like your mom, my mom, their mom.
So what would you
So
say for like like young girls your age, young women your age, I don't want to say girl, young women your age that don't have like that mom like your
support,
mom that's so supportive of their dreams, or they don't have the financial backing, like what kind of encouragement would you give to them?
and that also, before I answer that question, that also goes back to what I was saying. How
Mhm.
I'm growing up, I was doing this when I was 7, 8 years old. Most moms. That's why most people do it once they get out the house. They finally can
Ah.
accomplish and learn how they actually can do their dreams. But sometimes
Right.
it's not mom's fault because they're trying to go out there and make sure they still have a roof under their child's head. So I
Right.
don't blame the moms, but some moms do be strict. And I want to say, my mom, she's
Mhm.
strict. She's strict to a certain extent, and I understand that. I used to didn't understand that, and I would be like, "Oh my God, why is she doing all this?" But I understand why she wants to be on me because, like she be saying to me, once I get grown and if I want to have children and stuff, I'm gonna be the same way. Even
Mhm.
probably worse. But I understand that now because I probably even won't be the person that I am right now if it wasn't for her getting on me and being supportive. So, you give and she takes in. I get good grades. She takes in. Go out to UK, do my thing. So this is also kind of like a gift to me, a
Mhm.
give and exchange type thing. So with young ladies who have strict moms or moms that
Mhm.
just need to work, work, work so they can stay under a
Mhm.
household, I would just say practice what you want to do right now still. YouTube, we have YouTube. You even
Mhm.
have your school resources. You have to understand
Ah.
resources, books, um, there, and then even asking. You won't get if you don't ask.
You
There's a
won't
lot
get
of people
that's
out
good,
there.
Heaven.
Yes,
I
thank
like
you.
that. That's
There's a lot of
good.
people out there who
Mhm.
are like me. I used to be, well, I still kind of am, but I got better. I used to be
Mhm.
very, very independent. I wouldn't want to ask nobody for help because I
Mm-hmm.
wanted to learn on my own and see if I got it first.
Right.
But my mom told me as I got older, you gotta ask,
For
so
help.
then you will understand. Then you
Mm-hmm.
can be independent once you got it. Cause ask, 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 and
Mm-hmm.
you will receive. Now that you
That's
have that
good,
knowledge that
Heaven.
you received, you can do what you want. You can study on it, and then once now that you study on it, and you don't have to live in your mom's house or you about to go to college, you can
Mm-hmm.
actually do it. So
So
that
you
is
so
my
now is the time.
yeah.
So you would say now is the time for them to be preparing
Mm,
themselves, even if
yes,
they're at the house and this is a
yes,
dream, and family may not be supportive, or like you said, that's a good point
mm-hmm,
that you made. That sometimes the parents are working and they're
yes,
trying to keep a roof over their heads and
mm-hmm,
they're trying to keep food in the mouth and they just cannot,
yeah,
get out, support them. So this will be the season while they're at home to
yeah,
be studying YouTube University, like you said. You learn so much on YouTube
yeah. And then
University.
it's not hard to study something that you want to do, because I know anything
Right.
else like school and stuff, kids and teenagers don't really like studying that stuff sometimes because it be like that. But this is something that you want to do. You put your
Hmm.
mind to it, you will
And you can
receive.
and you can make it happen. Okay, that's really good, Heaven. That's some really good wisdom for your age. Like
Yes, thank you.
literally. Now, let's before we go, I wanted to your mom sent me a movie that
Mhm.
your last movie. Can you tell us about the movie that you have coming up and how can viewers
Um,
see it?
yes, it is coming out tomorrow, February
Oh,
14th.
oh, it'll be out tomorrow.
Yes. Wall of Secrets. It's on Tubi TV. In Prime, and I'm the main character, but I'm the young
Mm-hmm.
version of them. Basically, my character is someone who has mental illness,
Mm-hmm.
schizophrenia, and I'm basically a flashback from the main character, and I'm also the voice inside the main character's head. So, this character was to be precise, kind of hard. You really had to study this character. Schizophrenia, a mental illness.
So did you studied schizophrenia?
Yes, I had to
You had to
study.
study it?
Yes, I had to study. Well,
Schizophrenia, people that were schizophrenia, right? Is
yes,
that what you're saying?
yes. Well,
Oh.
actually, with every person, no, with every role I get, they're not gonna be like Kevin. They're gonna be like somebody
Hmm.
else. So I have to study every role that I get. But especially this role, because it's mental illness, I
Yeah.
never knew of this, so I had to study it and take in it because it goes from a certain extent to it's like a point of view of people with schizophrenia.
Right.
Everybody might call them crazy.
Hmm.
Everybody might call them this and that. You need to be here in a mental facility. You don't. It's not your fault that you have this mental illness. But
Hmm.
it's just showing what they went through, and the story has plot. And if you don't get to watch it tomorrow, you can at least watch the
I'm gonna
preview
check it out.
on my
Well, actually, I did see the preview, and and I remember seeing the lady on the couch,
yes.
and I thought that was really interesting because she had another personality, which is
Mhm.
your part, which was the little girl,
Yes.
and that little girl was kind of I guess manifesting herself,
Yes.
and she could hear her
Mhm.
inside of her mind,
Yes.
and I think that that's a really great point that you may have in regards to mental illness,
Yes.
because I feel like people with mental illnesses, they're living in a world in their mind that we don't understand
Yeah.
it, but it doesn't mean that they're bad people.
Yeah.
Because I have been around a person that had schizophrenia, and it's really interesting because
Yeah.
one minute they're talking to you, and the next minute they just go into a whole different world, and
Yeah.
they'll come back or they'll go out, and you can just tell when and I'm
Mhm.
like, wow. But see, me personally, like, I don't know if I could be around a person that like with the schizophrenia like that. Like I don't know if I could just I could do it. Like I just like it didn't. It's not judgmental, but just it's odd. Uh, it's different. But I like your perspective on being open minded and understanding that it's not something that they did. It's not their fault, and not to have that stigma. You see what I'm saying? On mental illness. Now, so you had to study um people with mental illnesses to understand how to play that role. Was it a challenge? Can you hear me, Evan? Can you hear me, Evan?
Hello.
Yes.
Okay, I can hear you now. Sorry, my
Okay.
thing had went out.
I was saying that was it a challenge when you went and like studied people with schizophrenia and the whole mental health? Was it a challenge getting into that role?
It wasn't challenging. It's just you had to really study the part and make sure
Oh, she's going out.
that this person's crazy because they're not crazy. And that's what the director was telling me, because this is really also her life story.
Also, this is your director's life story? I think Kevin had froze on me.
My back.
Okay, Heaven, can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay. So this was your director's life story?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
And she also has a book.
Okay. It's okay. The dog's okay. The dog's okay. So she has a book as well.
Yes.
Oh, wow. Okay, so you said it's on Tubi. So is it www.tubi.com?
Yes.
And that's TUBIE?
Yes.
Okay, so it's www.tubi.com.
Yes.
Okay. And so you're playing the character of the adults in the movie.
Yes.
Okay. And so but this is a real life movie. I got a fraction. I hear like it's coming through, but it's like a let me see here. Give me just a second. Yeah, it's like kind of I can hear it, but it's like coming through really staticky. That's the word I'm looking for. Okay. Let me see if that'll help. Okay, it's still kind of coming through, kind of staticky. But can you hear me?
Yeah.
Clear? Okay. So we'll try to get through this. We'll wrap it up anyway. So the movie's coming out on Tubi.com, and it's based on a real story. And now, in regards to the book, if viewers wanted to know where the book is, where can they find the book?
The book, I believe, is on her page.
Okay.
She don't got the book. Oh no, that. Well, it's called Angry Tears.
Oh, and is it on Amazon?
But that's a different story. I mean, it's kind of the same, but it's different.
Okay.
It's actually talking about her story.
Yes.
Not the story of the film.
Oh, okay. So they're two different stories. Okay, gotcha. Okay. Now, what other I know you're going to Fashion Week out of the country, and your anything else that you got coming up that you want to tell viewers about?
Well,
anything else before we go?
I'm saying I have so much have so much going on. For right now, not really. I'm just keeping up with my grades, acting, and modeling, and making sure.
And what social media channels can they find you at, Heaven? If they want to
On
get in contact
Instagram,
with you.
on Instagram is I am model heaven. Twitter and
Okay.
Facebook is model actress Heaven Hightower. Yeah.
Okay. You have a website?
Yes, my website for my foundation is www.heavenhill1hipall.com.
Okay. All right. Well, guys, it has been a true honor to interview you, Heaven. I know we're going to hear more from you, and I definitely want to keep in contact with you in regards to your whole journey. So make sure that you do a lot of blogging on that in regards to your whole journey going to the Fashion Week. Okay.
Thank you. Same to you.
Okay. Hopefully your mom will come to when y'all come to LA. If she ever comes to LA, she can come up to my studio because I definitely think you're gonna do good in LA too. I can see you in LA doing some work too.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Bye.